is Mr. Inegbejin Ewudagi Ogbefu. I am the tax controller, Ahoada Satellite Tax Office of the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
When we want to talk about the issues of tax, especially in Ahoada, your presence are not only been felt here. When actually did you open your office here?
Okay. We actually opened the office on the 17th of October 2022. And from that date till now, approximately we have spent two and a half years. Yeah.
In course of your operations here, I want you to distinguish between enterprise and limited liability companies as it relates to payments of the categories of different categories of taxes.
Okay. Yeah. For enterprises, I will limit it to the payment of taxes. For enterprise, they pay their taxes to the River State Internal Revenue Service. While for companies, limited liability companies, they pay their taxes to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The only difference between the two in terms of payment of taxes is that for the enterprise, we are only entitled to collect VAT from them, while for the limited liability is with respect to all manner of categories of taxes as enshrined in the Nigerian tax laws. That is just two difference. For purpose of management of time, I want to limit it to the payment of taxes for what concerns us with the enterprise. Their own is to come here, register for taxpayer identification number, for which when they commence business, we expect them to forward their records to us. So we will examine the details of the records provided to get our tax, our value-added tax from there. And that's the distribution factor between the two of them.
About if you can describe the process of tax registration and compliance for a new business, and the process of filing and paying taxes, including the different methods available.
Okay. The first thing to do is to approach the service for registration of taxpayer identification number. But that will be after registration with the corporate affairs. You bring all your CAC documents here. Then there are some standard questions that we expect you to answer, and there are some other criteria that is involved for you to register for that information. So we come here, we have our desks. Our desk is in the next room here. We call the desk the taxpayer service unit. That is the department responsible for generating team for all newly registered business in Ahoada and its environment. Then, after the team registration, we expect that when you finally commence business, we expect you to approach the office via writing an official letter informing us that you have commenced business. Based on that, we will carry out our own internal examination of those records which you will provide to us. Then from there, we will determine the available taxes to pay. Secondly, you are also expected as a limited liability company to file your annual returns, what we call audited accounts, for the years the activities are involved. Take for instance, I will try as much as possible to make it simple in the shortest possible form, because I know that this is a rural area, it's an upcoming urban area, but I will try and explain it to the best of my ability so that you guys can get the message clear. First, when you commence business, we expect you to come out to approach an auditor. Get an auditor who will be in charge of preparing the audited account. After preparation of the audited account, we expect you to forward that audited returns to us. But you have to file the audited account on our tax promas platform. When you file the audited accounts, anywhere you are in the world, you can file that account and pay your taxes in real time, online, even without visiting the office. Just that after filing the account on tax promas, we expect you to return the hard copies to us to enable us conduct our own debt examinations on them. Then, for the purpose of filing of monthly VAT returns, that is another area that is key to us. Value added tax is 7.5% of all taxable goods and services. For instance, you check what you sell from January to December. Whatever you sell, the total, multiply it by 7.5%. Whatever you arrive at is the VAT element.
Which conforms with the recent amendments to VAT, to changes in VAT.
Yeah, there are recent amendments to the changes in VAT. We are coming to that area. Then, for the monthly VAT, then you have to file monthly VAT in addition to the annual returns for limited liability company. I'm not talking about enterprise. Enterprise will only collect VAT from them. I'm looking at the limited liability companies in your environment as it were. You have to file monthly VAT, and that monthly VAT we expect to receive the filing and the payment, if any, on or before the 21st day of the month following the month of transaction. This is in line with section 15 of the Value Added Tax Act of 2004 as amended to date. Now, for simplicity of the explanation, on a monthly basis, for instance, this is we are in May, so we are collecting the returns for those that transacted activity in the month of April, that is April 1st to April 30th. You compute your total sales. When you get your total sales, you multiply it by 7.5%. Whatever you have is the VAT payable for the month of April. That amount is expected to be paid to the service on or before the 21st day of the following month, which is May, that we have. So today is 13. We expect that all value added tax returns should start coming in. Value added tax and withholding tax returns should start coming in on or before the 21st day of the month. Failure to do that attracts its penalty. The first month of default is 50,000. Subsequent month is 25,000. But for purposes of time, I will limit it to this knowledge. For more inquiries, I will solicit or advise that all taxpayers in our Ahoada environment should visit our office at number 51 Ahoada Omoku Road, Rivers State, opposite Kasmir Pharmacy. I will be much more delighted to attend to your other questions or clarifications that you may require. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Then, in course of the categories of taxes you collect here, which is in conformity with the amendment, the VAT amendment or whatever law that regulates tax collection, how will taxpayers in Ahoada and this environment pay their taxes, and what type of taxes are they expected to pay?
Okay. All taxpayers in Ahoada and environment are expected to pay all categories of taxes, depending on the nature of the transaction. All taxpayers are expected to pay CIT, company income tax, education tax, PPT, value added tax. It depends on the nature of your transaction, capital gains tax, and a whole lot of that. But what we expect from them is that they should get the services of a tax practitioner who will assist them to prepare the tax return and submit via our Tax Promise platform. The Tax Promise platform is our own seamless technology to make tax payments easy for all taxpayers. But what you need to do is to come forward to our office. We'll give you a form to fill where you provide everything, all the necessary details and information needed to install you into the Tax Promise platform. So from that, you can be at the comfort of your house or your auditor's office, wherever you are in the world, file your account and make payment of taxes.
Having talked about the deadline, we want you to tell the public the procedures for resolving disputes or appeals related to tax assessments. The process, tax collection and enforcement seem universal.
Okay. There are procedure for tax enforcement. Is that what you want?
Yeah, the enforcement and the procedure for resolving disputes.
Dispute. In case of dispute, in case of any tax dispute, there are various ways of resolving that. But where there is a major disagreement between the taxpayer and the tax office or tax administrator, as the case may be, it means that the matter will be resolved at the tax appeal tribunal in Benin. For that, those are the people responsible for the South office. But where a taxpayer disagrees with the assessment raised by office, they still have a lot of channels open through dialogue, engagement, and other collaboration. You can come to the office to ally yourself with some of what I mean. You can come to the office to discuss your tax affairs with the controller. We look at gray areas together. Me, I prefer a situation where we resolve our issues internally rather than going to the tax appeal tribunal. So I invite all taxpayers to cooperate with me. We can always look at issues inward instead of moving beyond us.
And the issue of enforcement.
The issue of enforcement is the last thing. It's usually the last thing because we have our own enforcement procedure in line with section 27 to 39 of the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act. But it is the last option to take. We have so many other internal way of handling our tax affairs with the taxpayers. The taxpayers, we see them as the king. So we always want to ensure that we resolve whatever tax disputes that may arise on the desk rather than pulling it out to the tax appeal tribunal. It's not my style. It's not my style.
We recognize that the office is a very busy one. In order not to take much of your time, let's see how we can take one more question.
Okay.
The taxpayers, how will they go about payment? And do you have intention of publishing names of those who default in the future or whatever?
Okay. For purpose of payment of tax, for those people who wants to pay their tax and they are not yet captured on our tax bonus platform, I will advise that they approach the office at the email at the address that will be displayed on the screen in due course. The payment is very, very seamless. You can pay from the comfort of your house, your office, on the road, you are swimming, inside the water, under the water, over the water. Tax bonus is there for you to make your payment very seamless. But if you have any challenge, you can take on to the office. My number will be displayed on the screen and we will guide you on what to do. But for those who are tax defaulters, the essence of this program is not to come and intimidate anybody just because we are agency of government. No. Our essence of the essence of we coming to Ahoada is to comply with section 24, subsection F of the 1999 Constitution. It says that it is the duty of all persons in Nigeria to pay their taxes honestly and obediently to the relevant tax authority. So that is the reason why we are here. Why we expect mass movement of taxpayers into this office. We also expect that there are some that will still not want to fully comply. But enforcement is the last thing for us to take. And the issue of publishing names of defaulters does not arise at the moment. But if in the process, our office and the taxpayers cannot find a common ground to resolve our tax affairs, then it means that we will have to go to the other way. But it is not the intention of management. This is the era of customer centricity. The customer is the key to us. We will do everything possible within our powers to ensure that you comply. But when you fail to comply, or your real intention, as we have here, your real intention is not to comply, and you really intended not to comply, after making all efforts to ensure that you comply, you still fail to comply, then you have no choice than to go through the last option, like I said earlier, which is enforcement action, in line with section 27 to 39 of the FRS Act. It is not intentional, but it's just to make you comply. Then, when necessary, we will publish the names of those who are tax defaulters in your environment. And I know that they will not like that kind of action. And even I will not even be happy to be the one announcing those names. But I implore all of them to come forward. Let's look at these things together so that I can help you harmonize your tax position in the service. Thank you very much.
Lastly, how do fees handle exemptions or deductions for specific tax exemptions or deductions for specific corporate organizations or individuals?
How do we handle it? It's an internal arrangement. It's a technical area. If we begin to analyze it, I will not be here. But there are various tax exemptions for individuals and companies. It's in the Act. The one that is relevant for the purpose of this engagement is the one I mentioned earlier, which is the 25 million naira threshold, meaning that if your turnover is not up to 25 million naira in a particular year or month, it means you are not expected to pay any form of tax, any at all. The issue is the filing obligations. There are filing obligations, there are payment obligations. You may not have, the law might exempt you from payment of taxes, but they do not exempt you from payment from filing, because it's only when you file that will be able to get the information to support the reason why you are not paying the taxes. It is the non-filing of the account that generates all these issues. So that's where we are.
Well, thank you for your time. Wish you all the best.
It's a pleasure. All taxpayers, please come to Ahoada. Come to Ahoada. We are here for you. Our office is situated at 51 Ahoada Road, Lagos State. My phone number is 080 3099 1754. I repeat, 080 3099 1754. Call me or text me for any other clarification you may seek as it regards your tax affairs. There is no need for you going to Port Harcourt or even Bayelsa here for your tax registration purpose. We are here, right here at the heart of Ahoada, to deliver quality service to you. I can assure you will get the best. Thank you very much.